guests is that we get to see them and have some fun with them. And then you can see how the quality of the guests we have on the show.
Right.
We have the best-looking guests, too. I mean, this guy, our buddy Dan Lust Esquire at Sports Law Lust. He's putting his sport coat on right now. And it's like bleeding into the back. He must have a blue screen because his jacket's starting to fade into the back. Dan, don't you know that when you have a blue screen and you have blue on, it starts becoming the background?
You know what? That's like Green Man from Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
Exactly.
But we got Blue Man instead.
Now, Dan, your hair looks terrific today. By the way, happy birthday, man. Happy birthday. It's your birthday, right?
It's my birthday. Also, I'm told it's Robin's son's birthday as well.
Christian,
so we
yes.
double whammy today.
It is. And you posted an absolutely great video of your daughter. Now, how old is your young daughter?
She's 8 months.
So 8 months. So she's sitting in bed this morning, and you take a video of her sitting on the bed, and you wanted her to say Dada, and then she just leans back and then falls into the pillow. And that's what you got out of her, but it was absolutely adorable.
So
man.
no dada.
No dada yet, right?
No. She would rather fall over on her back than say dada, I guess. I mean, I don't know what that says for the future, but you know.
2020.
Exactly. No, listen. You know, I have a grandson now who's 6 months old, and you watch these kids grow up, man, and they grow up so fast. I mean, I was talking to Robin earlier about baby pictures. I mean, they grow up so fast. Before you know it, they're 25. My son's 43. For goodness sake. All right, let's get it down to the legalese here, Dan. Enough of the pleasantries. I want to know because I have proposed a class action lawsuit on behalf of Philadelphia Eagle fans, but I think the Philadelphia mayor who implemented all these ridiculous rules yesterday, of which I don't believe he has any legal authority, especially closing things down till March of 2021, is there any kind of litigation for irate fans if the Eagles will not be allowed to have fans in their stadium and actually are the only NFL franchise not allowing fans in their stadiums if there's a football season?
Okay, so a couple things. So just so you guys know that you're not alone in this, I know there's reports coming out of Washington that they have a state of emergency that's going to be extended until, I think, October. So, you know, Philadelphia, maybe they put their foot in their mouth a little bit yesterday. They walked it back today, saying that there might be a chance of fans. But I don't think that Philadelphia is going to be the only state. I mean, I'm in New York. You know, we're still pretty much on lockdown over here. So, you know, I read the same reports you guys did. Originally, the report was no fans at all in the stands. And meanwhile, the Baltimore Ravens are going to have about 1/6 capacity. Other teams are planning for full stadiums. So, you know, Tony, the bad news, and listen, I'm your lawyer. I give you good news. I give you bad news. But you come to me because I give it to you straight.
Yes.
I don't
for
think
free.
you have some – and for free.
Pro bono. Right. Pro bono, not Steve Bono or Sonny Bono. Pro bono, which is the best kind of legal.
Someone else is paying for these mahogany books over here, but it is
By
not
the way, that is
Tony
the greatest
Bruno
book. That is I'm glad you bought those encyclopedias that I tried to hawk on you a couple of years ago that I got from my kids who don't use encyclopedias anymore.
I got all the world books. I got all of them. I got all the worlds and all the books.
So back to listen, I'm not one. I'm not a guy. I'm not somebody who wants to sue anybody every 10 seconds. I got to sue people, and I have a hard on for the mayor because I think he's a bad guy and I think he's hurt this city in many, many ways. But the question is, I hear you on other cities. I'm not talking about I said if there's going to be football. Certainly, if the NFL says we're not going to open the stadiums until October, November, or not at all, I understand that. But other NFL franchises have at least started releasing their plans on how they attempt to bring some fans in because the league has acknowledged that they are going to try to do it and do it safely. But if the Eagles are not permitted, because Jim Kenney has not said that they are allowed, he's now throwing it back in the latest statement that it's up to the Eagles to tell their fans what they're going to do. So he's saying, oh, no, I really didn't tell everybody that they can't go anywhere until March of 2021. It's up to the Eagles now. That's passing the buck, is it not?
It is passing the buck. I mean, I've been pretty vocal about this, guys. I think at the end of the day, fans are going to be given the option to attend or not attend.
Correct.
And it's going to be some form of a waiver. That's always been my interpretation of it. But you do have, and again, this is the most recent statements from the Eagles and other teams. Local officials are going to trump private officials when there's a conflict of safety and health issues. So I end up thinking the local officials are going to allow fans to make that decision themselves and allow teams to make that decision themselves. But at the end of the day, if these local jurisdictions put their foot down and they say, like I presume is going to happen in New York and New Jersey, no fans at Giants and Jets games, then Giants and Jets are going to abide by that.
Well, that's understandable. I'm not even debating that. I mean, that's just common sense. If the pandemic is so bad that they say, because right now every day something changes. Every day a different conference in college football says they're going to shut down. So we're taking this day to day, which is all we can do. I'm just saying that even if there is in football, is there anything that would prevent businesses, people in this city, to sue the mayor because he determined on his own without any science to keep things shut down as far as gatherings of people of 50 or more except for protest until March of 2021? Where is his legal authority as a mayor of a city to impose that kind of absolutely insane kind of ridiculous restrictions on a population?
So for better or for worse, I mean, there is a concept, and federalism, the national government can come in and institute a policy. Absent federal legislation, for better or for worse, local officials are given a lot of authority. And Tony, the same frustration that you're having, people have on the other side of the coin with Ron DeSantis over in Florida, letting everybody go to the beach, letting everybody do a number of things. And it's not in July. This was back in March when it was really at its worst. It was a little scarier time. So absent federal legislation, local officials are given a lot of authority. We'll see when push comes to shove if that actually ends up being his route. I mean, there's going to be a lot of civil unrest, as you can imagine, if there's no fans for a year and a half and no kind of gatherings like that. But, we'll have to see a lot. Right at this point, really, it's all talk. We'll see what comes in the future of it.
I mean, can Jeffrey Lurie, does he have any legal recourse as the owner of the team if, 31 other teams in the NFL, for example, are allowing a certain portion of fans in their stadiums during the year, but the mayor here says, Jeffrey Lurie, you're out of luck. Could he have any recourse against the mayor?
I mean, the point that you guys keep getting at, and I'm getting at as well, I mean, there was a period of time where all these Florida teams were getting a competitive advantage, right? And that's from being able to work out. So the NFL worked around this crazy deal, and they said, no teams can go back into their facilities until all 32 teams can come back. And of course, just from fans, but maybe just from a competitive standpoint, if the Eagles are the only team in the National Football League without fans, that's a very clear competitive disadvantage. So I think their recourse would probably be within the NFL. I just wouldn't think that would be fair that one team wouldn't have fans. And as we know as gamblers, that's 2.5 points that we're taking off the spread right
See,
there.
now I'm not even looking at that degenerate gambler. I'm looking at this as far as the fans.
I do.
I know, and that's good. And you and Harry are doing that, but I don't think that way. I think about the people. You guys are thinking about personal enrichment.
Exactly.
I'm thinking about the people
That's
out
all
there.
I ever think about.
I think about both equally, money and people, 1 and 2.
Dan Lust, Esquire, or Lust.
Sports law lust.
Yeah, I always get that sports law lust. That should be easy to roll off the tongue. So, no, that's my only problem with this, is that, again, if the situation is, as Harry mentioned, that they're the only city, and there's no data to prove that this city is much worse than Florida or any place else.
it's not.
There's no way. And again, fans don't have to go. Nobody's forcing people to use their tickets to go into the arena. If they want to and it's safe, and everybody else around the country, which are much worse than Philadelphia is right now as far as the virus, how do they legally forbid people from going into an arena?
I mean, Tony, again, I listen, as your counsel, I got to stick it to you straight. In Florida, right, where it is much worse, people are out in the streets and doing any number of things. So if there was some legal, we'll say, an avenue to turn back time and really shut down Florida and stop Ron DeSantis, it would have been done. But again, the local officials are given a lot of authority to do this. Could there be protests in the streets to force their hand? Sure. I mean, we're seeing that across the country, even absent real, actual legal authority. Protests can speak volumes about what can force someone's hand. But
we're allowed to protest. The coronavirus, as you know now, scientifically has been proven that it doesn't affect protesters. Unless it's a protest that you don't agree with.
It can differentiate.
Yeah, it doesn't affect if you want to be 6 inches away from people in a massive humanity clogging streets in Philadelphia and blocking traffic, which you have no legal authority to do, by the way. But if you want to go out and say, I want to help the police and I back the police, that probably will not be allowed and will be shut down. So it's amazing how this virus seems to know which protests and which gatherings are safe and which ones aren't.
It just takes certain days off. I think we're aware of it at this point.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to figure out.
And it pops in. You know, it's got the weekends off, but it's weekdays on. Everyone. I mean,
Dan,
Tony,
I have
don't know
a
how you didn't
question
get
really
this memo.
quick back about the legalese. Does it make a difference whether the city or the owner owns the stadium?
It probably does. I mean, at the end of the day, though, it's not like the owner owns the ground that the stadium is on. So he does have to listen to the city officials to some extent. But you would imagine that a city-owned stadium is going to have more control over the stadium. But at the end of the day, you don't control the skies. You don't control the actual ground. They just control the stadium that people go into. So if there's a law that doesn't prevent people from being in the streets, we saw this, guys. We've talked about it in the Bundesliga. Fans wanted to go and celebrate in the parking lot. And, you know, police were called on fans. That's just the nature of the beast.
Talking with Dan Lust. And again, I'm not trying to that's why we have you on for legal opinions. I'm just asking legal questions. A lot of people ask me, you know, what can you do? Can you sue? And again, these people think that I'm telling them that they should go out no matter what. I'm not. I listen to the science. And again, you know, you had the governor, again, shut some stuff down now with bars and stuff. And I get it. There's more cases, and there should be things restricted. But I just think from a constitutional, and I know you're not a constitutional law expert, but I am every once in a while because I have been to the Constitution Center, and I bought my own copy of the Constitution when I went there, and I listened to lectures.
Right behind me, Tony.
There it is. You have the Constitution.
Right. He's read all of those.
You have the Bill of Rights.
I got all of the Constitutions right here.
You have the Bill of Rights in there. Have you removed any offensive statues from in and around your office that may depict former litigators who owned slaves way, way back in the day when this country was born?
This is a relic here. I am not touching this at all. This is like a museum here, so I don't touch anything. It just stays like this. It doesn't move. I just leave my laptop over here, maybe a little typing. But other than that, it does not move.
Now, I got to ask Harry a question because whenever Harry has Golf Channel on, there's one guy that wears jackets with stripes in them.
Yeah.
Sort of like the one you're wearing today, and I think that's a spectacular jacket, Dan. Harry does not like those kinds of jackets.
No, that's more subdued than the ones that Gary Williams wears.
So Gary Williams on the Golf Channel, I think he wears some nice tight. I like the bursts of color.
Okay.
Harry's a conservative, like single-breasted, button-down kind of guy, right? He's a Brooks Brothers
Pretty
guy.
much.
Now he can't buy any stuff because they're going out of business.
They're out of business.
What are you going to do now? You're a Brooks Brother. If you're a lawyer, don't you have to be a Brooks Brother guy? Brothers?
I get a discount to Brooks Brothers, a company discount to Brooks Brothers. That's par for the course. There's a golf reference for you too, Harry.
There you go.
Yes, exactly. Now, if they go out of business, what happens? Do you go to Men's Warehouse instead?
The closeout sale. He has special
do you
dispensation.
go to Craft Brothers, 937 South Street, Store of the Stars? Where do you go if there's no more Brooks Brothers and you're a lawyer and you got to look good?
I'm getting a 9-for-1 deal, and you know what? I'll probably cut off on pants. I'll just go with the Zoom up top here.
Exactly.
I got shorts underneath here, Tony, and nobody.
I'm not wearing any pants or underwear today. And even though yesterday was National Nude Day, which we celebrated,
I saw your video, Tony.
Exactly,
That's a nice throwback.
There's nothing wrong with your body. That's how God made us.
He could have his birthday suit on.
That's right. Hey, that's right. It's his birthday. Robin, how did you not give Dan the birthday song that we give everybody else, even strangers that we don't even know? And this man is our official lawyer, pro bono.
That was actually, I would have to sing it because the fact that I added Zoom allows me, I have to make sure not to open up one additional thing on my computer.
Oh, no.
I know.
Can you play a birthday song over there, Josie? Because, we can't have Dan on and not.
How about if we
on
just
his
sing
birthday.
it? This
No, I want something good.
Birthday
How about
song.
birthday sex?
It
Do we have that in the system?
Long. Ole.
Ole. I need birthday sex, and I'm sure Dan is looking. Probably guaranteed birthday sex tonight. I'm not going to go out on a limb. But
Listen, am I under oath here or no?
it doesn't matter. You can lie anymore. Nobody goes to jail for perjury anymore. Come on, man.
I mean, Tony, my last name is Lust here, so.
It's kind of assumed, isn't it?
That's what I'm talking about.
It's kind of assumed.
All right, Dan, you have no papers for us to sign. We can't sue the mayor. What about recall petitions? Now, can you work on a recall petition to recall the mayor of Philadelphia? Because that's a process,
I could. Am I getting paid for this one, Tony?
I will actually. We'll start a GoFundMe.
Yeah.
Because I believe that the mayor of Philadelphia should be recalled, and we have as legal rights. You know, everybody wants to impeach the president. They've been trying to do it, and they did impeach him. Why not? Why can't the people of a city get together? Because there's an actual wiki page that tells you the process of recalling a local official who most people believe, and it goes to a ballot.
Right.
Whether the guy should be removed from office.
After somebody's been elected and then you realize everybody did something horribly, horribly wrong.
Buyer's remorse?
We may have that here, guys. I mean, Bill de Blasio is not the most popular guy in New York City, so you're preaching to the choir here.
That's okay, though. Your governor has put out that map of the mountain, and he left out the people in the nursing homes.
He's another idiot.
He is. What's wrong with New York State? Can you get New York State and just have that? Can you impeach? Well, you can't. Can you recall de Blasio and Governor Cuomo?
I mean, listen, we have to have a suitable replacement. I myself am a New York resident. Tony, you are over there in PA to take over the world. We just have all the states.
I nominate Sid Rosenberg for New York.
Sid Rosenberg as the governor or the mayor?
As
or
the
both?
mayor. As the mayor.
I think he could serve both positions, governor and mayor. He'll run.
Did we just forget that I nominated myself? And you just picked
I didn't forget.
Totally overlooked.
That was kind of rude for my birthday, Harry.
I know, but Harry, Harry's buddy, he goes on Sid's show. I mean, he's like Sid's
there
personal
are two
pimp.
positions, people.
There's two positions.
Now, which one would you?
I just nominated myself for both of them, and Harry goes, "No, Sid Rosenberg."
Now, if you had a choice, would you rather be governor of New York or mayor, New York State, or governor of New York City?
Governor of New York. You get the nice TV platform. I mean, meanwhile, they're storming de Blasio's mansion in New York City. I don't think you want to be anywhere near there. I think you want to have the nice. You could go in Albany, you get all the nice grass.
Yeah, but he's got all police protection in front of Gracie Mansion. They'll never get near him.
True.
And I'm not suggesting people commit violence.
But that's why it's a better choice, is what Dan's saying.
Yeah, and besides, nobody's in Baltimore. Nobody goes to Albany anyway.
No.
You're sitting up there in Albany, in the middle of nowhere. Who the hell's going to go up there to protest?
I went to very tiny Union College in Schenectady, New York, right next to Albany. It's a lovely area.
No, it's beautiful up there. I'm just saying that people are too lazy to get all the way up to Albany to go yell at Cuomo. He sits there on his Zoom calls every day. Exactly.
It's almost like a built-in moat.
I'm more of a Lake George region. I love New York and the Lake George region. Now, you've been up there, right? The Lake George region.
That's even up further.
I have. Very nice.
That's way upstate New York. That's way past the Borscht Belt.
It is. You're right.
I've spent July 4th there. It's a very lovely area.
Exactly. And Utica. By the way, Chuck Wilson, who was on with us, you know where he went to school, right?
No, I don't.
He went to a New York State school up there, Harry.
What, like a SUNY? One of those?
Ithaca.
Oh, Ithaca. Oh, okay. Yeah.
That's
that's
good.
Right there where Cornell is.
Exactly right. Good stuff. You don't get this anywhere else. And the Albany Great Danes, of course, as you know.
Yes.
Now, Dan,
Jody Mack went there.
He went to Albany, right?
Yes.
He's a Great Dane.
Yes.
Looks a little short than that. He's not thin enough to be a Great Dane anymore. Maybe he's more of a bulldog now. He started out as a Great Dane, but he became.
Dan, I can't wait for your daughter to get older and start interrupting your Zoom calls.
Oh, yeah, in the background.
Yes,
like run.
This is why I have the fancy background, though, so you guys can't see the magic that's going on behind me. You can't see my dog running around. You can't see any of that.
I don't even hear the dog. Why? You're the only person that's been on that has a quiet dog. What are you doing to him? Her or he or she?
No comment. No, nothing.
Did you muzzle the dog? Did you muzzle the? What kind of dog do you have?
She's a mini golden doodle. She's very well behaved.
Yeah.
She knows.
Smart dogs.
Yes, they
Golden
are.
doodles.
Give her a couple treats. You got to bribe her a little bit.
Exactly.
She knows the deal.
You have to do the same thing with kids. But
when you look at it, the Golden Retriever is the #1 breed of dog in America. There's not even an argument. And then the Golden Doodles and all of them Goldens are being bred. Actually, the Poodles are being bred with everything else now.
Doodles are the mix-in.
Exactly. Yeah. Not Yankee Doodles. They're a good snack when you're high, Harry, and you're doing Eitan show.
Those are fantastic. Kidding me? Yodels too.
Ring dings. I always love the ring dings.
Are good.
You freeze them though. You got to have them cold. You can't have them warm. Dan Lust covering everything today on his birthday. Dan, always a pleasure. Thank you so much, man. We have a lot of fun. We goof off, but you're the best, brother. Thanks so much for coming on, man.
Thanks, guys. Anytime.
Happy birthday, ladies and gentlemen. Dan Lust, Esquire.
At Sports Law Lust.